guys, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Today, I'm not playing Spider-Man on the PS5 like planned. I've been sent this game that's going to be released very shortly in the next couple of days by Ratalaika Games. The amazing people at Ratalaika Games sent me Autumn's Journey, a visual novel, to stream today for my fabulous viewers. See what the game is like. As I said, it's a visual novel game. I think it contains, I think I read correctly, over 40,000 words. So that's a few hours, a few too many hours maybe. Nah, it's all good. Hey Jericho, thank you for the lurk, buddy. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah. So once again, guys, check them out. Their link just came up in my chat window. Ratalaikagames.com. Check them out. This game is called Autumn's Journey. It is available for the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, and the Xbox One. I am playing on the Xbox Series X via backwards compatibility today. Not that it makes a difference with these type of games, but that's my choice of consoles. Playing it at the moment. My normal Xbox One X is just sitting in another room unplugged at the moment, to be honest. Okay. Okay. Let's get out of this. Let's just start it up. We're gonna remember to save just in case for some reason we crazily die. Chapter 1, the end of summer. Gotta figure out the voices for some people, and then halfway through we'll forget what the voices go with it. Sunlight filtered through the airy bridge forest as lush ferns grazed my boots. I momentarily shredded my eyes before I turned north, treading carefully. The trees look like zebras. The muggy atmosphere that had hung over the past few months was now being replaced by the subtle crispness of fall. Though the trees were still vibrantly green, apple picking season was fast approaching from the town of Bury. I cheerfully stretched one arm towards the sky, inhaling deeply. And thus my weekly scouting for monsters, bandits, and anything out of the ordinary that may harm local citizens is over. And that concludes my mission. I laughed, wondering why I'm announcing my duty to no one. I guess she's a girl, so we could do a girl voice, but no, we're not doing a girl voice. As I said, I'm not very good at girl voices. I like the crazy voices. I could try. I guess I always wanted to say that out loud. Walking around alone does prompt you into monologuing just as you can hear a voice. I wish I wasn't restricted to freelance work in Barry, though how long is my training going to last? I'm more than ready for knighthood. I can do this. Then we can go, after we finish that, we can go back to the narrator voice. I adjusted the belt holding my sword, making sure the hilt could be pulled out at a moment's notice. Humming, I decided meanderly back to the village by following the thin river down the gentle slope. I love the terrain here, not super rocky, but it's not entirely flat either. There was always an indication, and higher up I could be a breathtaking panorama. I can't say that word today. Panorama. God damn it. Tongue twisted then for a second. Panorama of Barry and its endless orchids. Especially in autumn, when the leaves were so vibrantly red and the entire forest seemed to ignite, and the smell of crisp frost and thick fallen foliage lingered welcomely. It was then I spotted something entirely out of the ordinary near the riverbank, leaning against a birch tree. The thin birch trees were not exactly known for their comfortable resting spots, and I did not recognize the stranger's attire. Hello, are you a traveller? Here we go. Oh, look at this dude. Pretty boy. His face came into view and I realized he was sleeping. But that's not what caught me off guard. He had a beautiful, prosperous, resemblant shell shards jutting out of his long hair, right where someone's ears would be. Or was it a decoration covering in his ears? He's an elf, god damn it. I suddenly wanted to touch them, but I resisted. If I woke him up until he mannered, it would be awkward to explain. At first, I was about to leave, but then I noticed something else rather odd. From a simple glance, I saw no bags, no possessions or anything else on him. The place was too far from the civilization for a simple afternoon stroll. Was he mugged? And if he had been in a berry previously, I would have known. It was that small of a town. Curiosity won me over. Hello? I flickered in concern passed over my face. I grabbed his shoulder and gave it a gentle shake, finding his lack of response unnerving. I quickly hovered a hand in front of his nose. Sure enough, he was breathing, and I did not see any injuries that would suggest he was knocked unconscious. After some more feeble attempts to wake him, I decided to improvise a camp. I did not want to leave him unattended. I knew I couldn't drag his body very far. Tossing down my bag, I went to work. It looks like a zebra tree. The fire crackled merely on the birch of wood as I opened the cloth, which contained a lump of rye bread and hard cheese. Cheese. There was emergency rations, lest I was unable to return to Berry. Mother and father were probably worried. Just as I was about to bite into the cheese, I saw movement and glanced up, eyeing the strangling stranger. Setting my food down, a curiosity shuffled over. I had previously placed his body in a supine position and used my bag to substitute pillow. Though it was probably more lumpy than anything else, it was better than nothing. Are you awake now? You've been out all afternoon. I was getting worried. I trailed off before starting rambling and watched him curiously as he opened his eyes. In a split second he shot up, and then clumsily fell back. I caught his arm to steady him. Whoa! Take it easy, you just got up. He flinched from my skin contact, and I hastily let go, retreating slightly. I didn't get any sense of hostility. He certainly seemed bewildered. Let's do his voice now. Who are you? Alright, what kind of voice we should use? We're going to use something different to the narrator voice. Who are you? Who are you? We'll try that one for a while. There was an easy edge in his voice, not quite of a panic, but more of anger. It was then I noticed that his eyes were a brilliantly unless hue, contrasting with his earthly hair tones. Better to remain calm. Oh, really? I found you in the woods outside of Barry. The surprise did not leave his eyes. They darted quickly to his hands, where he was covered his face. Lastly, he ran his fingers through his brown hair. The horror of his face was unsealing that I double sat down for several seconds before mustering the courage to address him again. Are you alright? Obviously not, but I wanted to better grasp of the situation. He attempted to sit up again, but this time I was prepared. Again, he was repelled by my touch. I gave him up the desire to help him that way. Sorry guys, just trying to get comfortable in the seat today. He still appeared unstable, but seized his sudden movements at least. He actually did it! Oh, I'll go to a voice I can remember. He actually did it! He actually did it! I'm gonna remember that. Hey, Cherry Bomb! Welcome to the stream, Gail. Welcome. Playing a game called Autumn's Journey, brought to me by the amazing people at Ratalaika Games. It's a visual novel, so a lot of talking today. Cherry Bomb, welcome. How you doing? The hell? He clutched at his temples, his fingers glazing over his odd fixations in place of his ears. He wobbled as he tried to stand up and impatiently rushed to his side. Stop it! You obviously can't move into your condition. You might as well sit down and clear your head. Hey, Cherry Bomb, what's up? Just playing a game at the moment. Just playing the game. Yourself, Cherry? What is going on? Who are you and what are you doing here? He looked at me when he was registering me at the first time since asking who I was. Everything about him screamed overwhelmed, and he simply grit his teeth in frustration. Ask if he's hungry. Every guy's, the way to a guy's mind, or way to a guy is through his stomach, through hunger, or through boobs and beer. Was talking to Rabbit. Who the hell's Rabbit? I decided to find out another angle to help him up. I did not consider myself intimidating, but it was possible he had no desire to answer anything. Are you hungry? I softened my voice and returned to my spot of the fire. I grabbed the cloth and gently offered him a rye bread and cheese. He only arched an eyebrow in disgust. What is that? It's food. You chew it. One of the band members of Star's steam-powered giraffe. Cherry bomb and her giraffe. I ripped a piece of the dark bread and demonstrated, humming delightedly to show that it was edible. He scoffed and agitated his eyes.
I don't care.
Oh, he's actually talking. That's how he sounds. Okay, well, I don't want it. It looks revolting. We'll give him that voice now. I think he's had 4 different voices now. Sorry, my peasant food does not please my lord's taste. Oh, the attitude was rubbing off on me. Calm down, if anything. He's hiding that he's scared. He did just wake up in a foreign place. Are you nobility? He fell silent, and I was only occasionally crackle of the fire and hooting of the owls interrupted the stillness. I leaned back and rummaged over my meal, carefully to leave some food untouched in case he changed his mind. And there was an apple tart too. Ooh, apple tart! I'll save it for later. I wrapped the cloth, only vaguely aware that the stranger was examining my every movement. It nettled me slightly, but I decided not to comment. I did not want to do anything that would cause to raise his guard even more. It was now dark, and I occasionally fed the fire, gently getting the feeling I was going to be spending the night. After what seemed like an eternity, he finally spoke. Who are you again? Aruli. Aruli. That's her name, I think it's... I'm of the town of Berry, and you? Kerr. He reluctantly uttered his name, glazing into the fire. He seemed much calmer now. And how did you get here? His lip curled, almost smirkingly knowingly. You probably wouldn't believe it if I told you. You have unusual eyes and a strange fashion accessories over your ears. I think I can find your story credible. He flexed his hand, scrutinizing his fingers carefully. I didn't come here willingly. Out of all the places, I don't see why you decided to drop me in this low-bound simplistic. Kerr? He glared at me as he offered that I addressed him directly. So, where are you from? I'm not particularly tied to any region. It was not obvious already. I'm not one of you. He tapped his knee petulantly. I'm one of the dragons on Earth of Dragon. An Earth Dragon. He started at full pride and no ounce of humility. Dubiously, I expected he would head from head to toe, taking note of the stone, like just his ears and her remarkable eyes. He balked under my stare, but quickly regained his dignity. Oh, sorry, I've gone back somehow. So why would an Earth Dragon be here? It's not because I wanted to. He blurted out angrily. Oh, sorry. He blurted out angry. He touched his unique ears for comfort. I sighed and then tilted my head from side to side. I absorbed his explanation. Alright, I admit I'm not exactly expecting this as a frisbee, but I'm not dismissing it either. You can't transform back? If I could, do you think I would remain in this pathetic body, so weak? I intensely patted my sword hilt and countered that remark, but stopped when I saw him attempt to stand again. He loves this bullshit, eh? It was like watching a toddler take his first few steps, but instead, I was firstly discouraging his efforts. Why have you already established that I'm familiar with your form? Besides, it's too dark to walk around aimlessly. I'll find a walking stick for you, and you can return to Barry, if you'd like. It'll feel wrong to abandon you in this state. Are you saying I can't handle myself? I'm pointing it out. Once again, guys, this game's been sent to me by the amazing people at Ratalaika Games. RatalaikaGames.com, check it out. I think it's due for release on the 11th of December, guys. So I've got it a little bit early, so I can stream it for you guys. I'm sorry if I'm stuffing some of the words up, but that's just me. Just gonna have a quick drink. Get back into it. Ah, that's better. Quality H2O from the water boy. Realizing we were both escalating our voices, I looked away in a huff, not wanting to have an encounter turn so rapidly. Atar! I need to find Atar! Oh, I'm trying to get the word right now. Haven't Card Workshop us, right? Well, yeah, I mean, Dragonkind were here first, so I naturally will pay our respects. I admit, I thought dragons were more divine and irreproachable. Kerr was definitely giving me a different impression. I barely knew anything about the Dragonkind, though they focused on their own affairs. You take care of me! It was a plain statement, not a suggestion nor a plea. Why, Atar, you are all Heavenkind made. How would it help you? Go away, people messaging me. He paired my question exasperate. I don't know that word. God, I'm going good today. It doesn't matter. You know where one is. Oh, what the hell? Sorry guys, I missed this messaging. Sorry guys, just got a message from the missus. But gotta reply to the missus when she messages you. Yes, and there's not far from here. There's a cave that leads to it. I'm doing a girl's voice mixed with his voice now. Start again. Yes, there's one not far from here. There's a cave that leads to it. That's better. Relief washed over his face, and for once he scowled and vanished. Good, we should go there. This instant. He obstinately tried to stand up again, but I lunged forward and firmly set him back down. He gasped at me in disbelief, but my will was not stubborn at his. Morning. We'll do this in the morning. Get some sleep and I'll find an ideal walking stick. I don't think the master... What the hell? Master Bibbledallism. We're calling Bibby. Bibbleson, without some assistance. Especially not in our day. And it's difficult if I have the physical support. You are way there. So, just take it easy tonight. I'll even keep watch while you sleep. After my entrancement, he fell silent and gave me a reluctant nod, closing his eyes wearily. I slightly gratefully, feeling moderately triumphant over the battle of pig-headedness. As Kerr was grumbling, I leaned over and piled a small blanket over my bag. The temperature was still pleasant, even at night. It could cool rapidly, especially since it was the end of summer. After returning some items to my bag, I replenished it so that the passive pillow again was offered to Kerr, who seemed puzzled by the purpose. Believe me, you need something comfortable or you'll have trouble sleeping. Worse, you'll wake up with a sore back and getting an altar will be even more troublesome. You already slept on it once. I think you can figure out how to support your head with it again. I laughed sheepishly at my own stab and lightening the mood, but I could tell it wasn't working for Kerr. Disgruntled, he lay down in his side and expanded with a few positions before resting his head with satisfaction. At first, he refused to use the blanket, but as the temperature dropped, he discreetly pulled it towards him and, with his thought I wouldn't notice. Probably to hide the expression, he rolled over so his back was to me and the campfire. I had a feeling the initial shock took out of him. I admittedly hadn't helped when he ruffled through my feathers more than once. Now that he was sleeping, though, an irritation I felt along with the summer heat disappear. I would need the mentally and physically prepared for tomorrow. Stay cool and collected as autumn. I poked the fire to stay as much as my watch until exhausted began me into resting my eyes for a few minutes. Still in these zebra trees. It's like a little cartoon now. Hey! Oh please, I've had less sleep than you, and I'm ready. Oh, energized, is ready to go. Pouting and poking Kerr with some of the walking stick I fashioned for him. It hadn't been easy to find a sturdy stick in the birch forest, but I located a long one that would would suffice. I spent the morning carving off a back, any bark, and had any intended to top it to make it easier to grip. Now it was my dragon prod. Up! Arise, sacred dragon! Achievement unlocked, poking the dragon. Wake up Kerr with your mighty stick. Ha 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 ha! Whoa! My mighty stick. Cut that out! He's pissed. Kerr hastily shut up, throwing his blanket in a feeble attempt to hide the fact he had used it. I decided to counter his usual scrowl with my perkiness, most cheerful grin I could muster.
Sorry about that.
Good morning! My buoyancy was genuine. For some reason, it satisfies me to know that my victorious equaled him. I think that's a word. I could use my sonly disposition to advantage. It would be better than scraping at him at any rate. Stop poking me with that! She says you're welcome. It was your walking stick. Here, you're welcome. It turned sideways and offered it to him. His worry gazed at it. Hold on. If I was presenting a cobra instead, but carefully grasped it. Curiously, he pressed the stick against the ground and stood up. I remained close, lest he toppled over like yesterday. His fingers drummed against the carved handle, and he looked at me quizzically. You spent time on this? Well, I wanted to finish off with a pretty flowing ribbon, but I had a feeling you wouldn't like it. Grumbling, Kerr took a step forward, leaning on the stick, hastily taking another. With each step, he regained some confidence, and soon he was walking in a straight line, a bit an uneven gait. He could not exactly break into a run or even a brisk stride, but it was a huge improvement from last night. I estimated we could reach the cave leading to the altar by mid-afternoon. I quickly packed and followed him, since I had an unfeeling the only thing he was on his mind was the altar. It's this way! Sorry guys. I pointed towards the gentle incline, and Kerr narrowed his eyes relentlessly. Going downhill would probably be difficult for him. As we headed towards our destination, I kept my distance at first, but I gradually drew towards Kerr, one hand extended in anticipation as I stumbled. God, I'm going good with the words today. Sorry guys. Oh man. Tongue twisters, and they're so simple words, some of them. Kerr barked and increased, and a distance between us determined the process on his own. However, his pace was excruciatingly slow, and it was unwilling to start any small talk. As his slope gradually steepened, his footing became more unstable, and I worriedly grabbed his arm for support. Oh! What? He twirled around in surprise. I actually did end up bracing him, once he was stable again at my side. Look, I know you don't like me touching you, but it is priority to get to that altar as soon as possible. I think you could swallow your dignity and accept my help. Besides, no one else is around to see. Okay, you've done enough. I don't need any more of your help. He shifted his weight and started using the stick to wand me away. I frowned disapprovingly. Hey, if you try to hit me with that thing, I'll confiscate it. Even I wouldn't do such thing like that. Gritting his teeth, he leaned heavily against one of the birch trees. When I get back, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Who? My master. He caught answers stalled as the torrent of questions piling up on his head. Just normal voice. It would be poor of me to interrogate him when he was still obviously overwhelmed by the situation. Right now, his goal was more important. Then let's get you to that cave. You believe me? I don't think I told you. Maybe you're just very convincing actor. But I think even an actor would drop this chariot after a while. Just as I was about to reach for him again, a low grumble pierced through the forest. I heard that grumble. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was my stomach then for a second. I glanced at the cur in amused bafflement. He averted his eyes, but I could tell he was embarrassed. You know, if you're hungry... I'm not. Another complaint from his stomach. I think you'd be able to walk faster if you had something to eat. What do dragons eat anyway? Mentioning heavy kind? I rolled my eyes. Well, you have a heavy kind stomach now, and I doubt I'd agree with the diet like that. But if it does make sense that you wouldn't want to try the bread or cheese, I doubt dragons fresh rye on run dairy farms. It was then that I remembered the apple tart. Even if Kerr had found the pastry part distastable, the fruit would probably be familiar to him. I urged him to sit down. When he refused, I simply made myself comfortable on the ground first. Here, this is the closest thing I've seen to found in nature. I could forage, but that would take even longer. What is it? What is that? It's pastry. My dad owns a bakery. You probably wouldn't understand that. It's basically a treat with apple filling and I think some apricot jam. It's getting better and better. I need some double dollop cream on it now. Thankfully, my dad preferred showing off the nature ingredients. As a result, the top of the tart had thin slices of appetizing fruit covering with luscious yellow glaze. Ooh, looks like a pizza! It does look like a pizza. And look at him! Is this supposed to be a picture of him? Oh no, that's a picture of her and he's just smashing it. And she looks like a finger with a head on it. Oh man, someone didn't do the drawing on that one too well. Kerr sniffed it warily. It must have been arguably enough since he soon accepted the pastry. You're welcome. As soon as he started nibbling on it, he must have realized how famished he really was, because he quickly devoured the entire tart. I watched as he coughed slightly and wiped his crumbs off his mouth, but the expression was unreadable. So, how was it? I don't think it tastes fine when you're starving. Oh, you just inhaled so fast. Man, I'm doing her voice now as his. Oh, you just inhaled so fast that you didn't actually taste it. Well, it should tide you over until we reached the atar. Kerr grabbed the stick and we resumed our trip. The extra sugar boost seemed to lift both our pace and his mood. Although he stayed Texum. Just gotta get a drink, guys. Won't be a second. These damn zebra trims are starting to become annoying. Can't wait to get to that cave. As we continued through the forest, I stumped and groaned when I spotted some dark trees. Oh, these are the... Oh, what's that word? Felben trees. Completely forgot. We should probably go around them. Felben? He peered at the thick, gnarled trunks. What? Scared of the bark? It would be quicker if we continued in a straight line. No, it's not about the trees. It's what lies in them that makes perfect nests for everterials. The hell are those? Those giant bird things. I thought you'd know of them. I would if I understood your names. Why are you trying to give names to everything anyway? We dragons were here first. We already know established. I raised my hand to silence him, not wanting to make any unnecessary noise. He scowled, but a shrill cry startled both of us. Oh! Then what do you call that? Unusual food. Well, that'll be us now. Perched on one of the lower branches was a reptilian bird with scales running down its front. The rest of his body was covered in earth-toned feathers. Though probably not taller than 4 feet, extremely wide wingspan and sharp talons made it a fearsome animal to encounter in the wild. Avatira was raised young way into the fall, so the mothers would be extra territorial this time of year. The bird ruffled its plum, making itself seem larger than it was, and prepared to launch itself at us. God, going good. Oh, she's got a sword now. I immediately stepped in front of Kerr, gripping my sword as I took defense stance. With Kerr's condition, an instant retreat wouldn't work. It would have to guard him. Whoa! What are you doing? We're not planning to fight it, are you? Do we have a choice? Look out! I shoved Kerr off balance. Thanks to my quick reflex, we narrowly avoided a slash from the Otoro's talons. The wing whipped at my hair, and debris flew us on the ground. I scrambled to my feet and sprinted forward, hoping to help Avatira's attention away from Kerr. As I drove towards me, I slashed upwards. It veered away, dodging my counterattack. Kerr, I'll keep it busy while you get away. Are you stupid? I'm not leaving you behind. Kerr! That sounds funny then. I need you to take me to that altar. Maybe if you shouted the directions at me, I could get there alone. I'm kind of busy here. I can't be in the bearings in the middle of the battle. My aggravation wasn't deceptive. I needed to keep the Avatira at bay. However, my training had never covered aerial attacks, and the bird's scale front was like an armor. Are you holding back? Why is it just protecting? It's young. It's trying to kill you. You think I haven't noticed? Oh, for the wings. Clip them. It won't hurt it, but it will stop it from flying. Just clip the tips. I widened my stance and prepared for another attack. At this last second, I leapt to the side, slicing at an angle. My sword beautifully sheared the Atala's thick primary feathers. The monster swerved to the ground. It showed its headed bearing the brunt of the crash. It let out a cry. I felt a split second of guilt that vanished with a yelp of the bird tried to tear me down with its talons. Luckily, the Avatira was designed for swooping down at prey rather than running out to the ground, so it could only hobble awkwardly. As it scurried and fully spread its wings, I retreated and grateful that it was even slower than Kerr. Oh, I can't get comfortable today. I rode through the trees until it finally gave up chasing me. Then, slying the release, I looped back to return to Kerr, who was also at a safe distance. Looks like it gave up, but what about its young? It'll be fine, the feathers will grow back, and it can still hop back into its nest. Its babies won't need to eat consistently at this stage anyway. You sure you know a lot about them? Thanks for the suggestion. He snorted angrily. I already told you. They're food, of course. I know about them. Soon, the forest was quiet again, with only the sounds of the footsteps and the tap of Kerr's walking stick breaking the silence. Surprisingly, he did not protest when the suggestion of a safer route, nor when I walked nearly shoulder to shoulder with him. I had the feeling that starting the regular conversation would push my luck, so I kept my mouth shut instead, hoping for no more setbacks. Are we going to get out of this forest? Oh, we're in the cave! We're going to different atmosphere now, guys. Different atmosphere, which is good. Yeah. This is it? Yes. It's not a very deep cave. You simply take a turn and the altar is right there. That's it? No complex mazes? No shining sacred magic like the guardian or anything? Hey, we did what we could. This is a modest altar. I took a deep breath and smiled. I haven't been here for years. I think I came before it to make an occasional offering around the harvest season. I gave Kerr a cheerful look, but he continued forward, ignoring my recollections. I struggled and followed, quickly catching up to him. Kerr awkwardly knelt down before the altar, discarding the walking stick once he was comfortable. His eyes closed with a softened scowl, almost as he was meditating. Suddenly, his mirror-like ears perked, and he stared directly into at the statue. There was no change in atmosphere, but I could tell Kerr was angry, his hand tightly gripping his knee. I know we're connected. I demand that you remove this stupid curse. He fell silent, and I looked around in amusement. Was he talking to someone? But I could not hear the other half of the conversation for some reason that made me even more attentive as I tried to piece everything together. You can't be serious! So I said a few things, but yes, I've met one. That's how I found the altar in the first place. He whirled towards me and blinked confused. As I studying me for the first time, I stiffened, wondering why he was staring at me so intensely. Once he finally turned away, I relaxed, although I could not help but feel anxious about their decision. What about me? Weak, pathetic, gives strange names to animals, doesn't seem to know much about I don't know where, or how the world works. He's referring to humankind in general, just me. What? I guess there's food half decent or something. What? No. You're not sending me on a pointless inspirational quest. I'm not a child. I can't even walk in this form. So your plan is... At the moment, a blinding light flashed from the Kerr was standing, and I flinched in shock. Whoa, Kerr! By the time I had knelt back and worrying and grabbed his shoulder, the flash had already disappeared. In one small movement, Kerr removed my hand and stood up without walking stick. His eyes still seemed focused beyond me, and I slowly nodded to myself. Did your powers return or something? He extended his palm and lurched forwards to the ground, slamming against the hard stone. The entire cave shook. The tremor visibly and mentally shook as well, and my heart pounded loudly. I felt paralyzed that I couldn't even scream. Once I found my balance, I looked bewilderedly at Kerr, who smugly flicked his unharmed fingers. I stared curiously at his cocksure expression. So, he barely glanced in my direction. It's not exactly what I wanted. However, a portion of my original powers and strength are back, along with my balance. I can actually be comfortable in this form now. He gave a dismissed his kick to walking stick, then prompted walking away from the Atara. I mustered a small smile. Well, that's promising at least. What do we do? What will we do next? Do what he ordered me to do. And become normal again. I can't handle this on my own. So, you need to follow me. We're back to the zebra trees. I had anyway. There was only one way out of the cave, but as soon as we were in the open air, Kerr took off running with a glance of speed. I'm sure not heavy card could even... Sorry guys, just got a text. Stop messaging me. I don't know who you are. Sorry guys, just got a text from a telemarketer. The telemarketer texting me now instead of ringing you, they text you. I blinked once, and sure enough, I was alone. Scared back to my head, still absorbing what just happened. You're welcome. Burying my head in my hands, I shook out my hair in frustration. Was I expecting something from this? Well, a thank you would have been nice. I tapped my sword hilt with reassurance. It was that night does. They help the weak and they demonstrate their curiosity when it is needed. Well, Kerr's not weak anymore. He can definitely take care of himself now. I guess my duty's done. Mission complete. Just some experience as a reward. And a discarded walking stick. Deciding not to linger any longer, I started walking back toward Barry. My parents would certainly be worried by now. See if we're going to get some different atmosphere. Maybe we're in a village now, or Barry, maybe. Let's check it out. We should probably save it up, I think. What's this part? Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Welcome back. I'm going to save it here. Okay, how we save? There we go. And we're going to return. I trekked back through the forest, careful to avoid the camp. I decided to take a quick break to eat. I wrapped my bread and cheese, poking half-heartedly at the grainy texture as I stared at the remains of the campfire. As I was about to take a bite, I had an odd feeling of discomfort and glanced sideways. Am I really imagining this? I sighed. Oh man. Kerr, I know you're there. You'd have to hide. There was only silence at first, but I heard a slight rustle and turned my head again. Seriously, you just moved to another location. I hope you weren't going to wait until I fell asleep to steal my stuff. I wasn't planning to do anything like that. Kerr reluctantly emerged from behind one of the bigger trees. His expression looked conflicted, and I could tell he did not want to be with me again. Welcome back. Did you miss me? No. But then I realized I wouldn't be able to find the next hotel without you. Well, you're out of luck. I don't know the whereabouts of any other dragon caves. Nor am I carrying more apple tarts if you're hungry. There really is no reason to stick with me. You need to get another guide or find someone else that can help you. But I don't want to go through the trouble of finding anyone else, at least until I get my bearings. I have no clue where to go from here. A small idea formed in my head. Wait, perhaps I could accompany Kerr to Oliver. What's that? Now I'm getting text messages from McDonald's. The old Mako Burger's out. The old Mako Burger. Perhaps I could accompany Kerr to Oliver. If I explain the situation to Mum, maybe she'll consider writing me the night recommendation letter. Then, if you'd like, I can accompany you to Barry. From there, we can travel to Oliver. It's a huge city. You could probably find directions to other artorias there. Does that sound acceptable? He grumbled in agreement and sat down on the fallen log I was using, but near the edge to leave plenty of space between us. My master always asked for me to interact with heavy-kind more, and I've already been with you long enough. Nice to know I'm tolerable to be around. And your master doesn't seem that bad. He had been an interest in working with Helikind. I guess he didn't even like to know where one of the pupils didn't share his point of view. I grinned wearily. At least he was kind enough to curse you with some clothes. I didn't think dragons normally wore clothes. Is that a spell or some of those genuine articles? Kerr chuckled over his shirt as I suddenly aware of it. I think it's a spell. It won't wear off or anything, will it? Oh, she's asking for it to wear off so you can see her dragon trunk. He scuffled. I saw your spell won't wear off for my clothes. It's just that I don't want you to glance back during, I don't know, the heat of battle and you catch you stark naked. Well, that'll never happen. Jeez! Why are you interested in seeing my shirtless? If you want, I can take these off right. Please, no. I trust its magical subsistency of those clothes, so please keep them on. Besides, you should stay warmer that way. Is that why Helikind wear them? Something like that. I'm really getting mixed up with the voices now. Sorry, guys. I'm doing my best. I put off some of the bread and popped it into my mouth. Kerr watched briefly with interest before heartily averting his eyes. Let me guess, you're hungry as well. I don't know what Helikind consumed, but I don't think I can eat what I normally would. As he pursed his lips, I handed him the rest of the bread. He arched his eyebrows in surprise at the offering. It's fine. I had a small breakfast, and I'll be back in Barry soon. Without bothering to inspect it, like he did with the apple tart, Kerr crammed the bread into his mouth. I stiffly laughed, since I had a feeling dragons had no concept of chewing. Propping an eyebrow on my knee, I watched him with amusement. Won't be a second, guys. I'm just gonna pause this up. Gonna quickly just pop to the toilet, and I'll be back in just a jiffy. So bear with me for a second, please. Okay guys, I'm back. I am back. Once again guys, this game is brought to you by the amazing people at Ratalaika Games, ratalaikagames.com. Check out my chat window for their link to their website. Autumn's Journey, visual novel, available on the Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and the PS4. I today am playing on the Xbox Series X via Xbox One backward compatibility. But I'm pretty sure it'll be the same on all consoles. It's not one of those enhanced games or anything, but check it out guys, it's not bad. What's this? Jericho, I just bought this game, thanks for the stream. You're welcome Jericho, I'm glad I could stream this game and so everyone can see what it's like before they buy it. It's always a good thing to check out games before you buy them, unless you know all about them already or they're damn cheap and you thought, oh, I'm just going to take a plunge. Okay. I was also feeling a little unimpressed with the Misfits. He was towards me. Okay, should I tease him or glower at him? I'm going to tease him. I lowered my voice to intimidate him. Oh, Aurelie, I'm so entirely grateful. You are the best thing that Heavencott has to offer. And I'm so glad you helped me, fed me, and led me to where I need to go. Where would I be without you in miserable kindness? Thank you. Kerr coughed violently as he tried to respond and failed, and I continued. I felt a sweet giggle and fluttered my fingers towards him. Oh, Kerr, it was nothing. You're welcome. After patting his chest, then swallowing loudly, Kerr tried to speak up. What? Before he could start, I stuffed his last portion of cheese into his mouth. I kept my hand there, and we exchanged a meaningfully look. He quizzical stared softly, and I took a step back. It's nothing. You finished eating? I'm going to take a quick walk. I stalked off before he could answer. Ooh, better scenery, better scenery. I approached the riverside, crouched down and splashed my face with water, rubbing my forehead and cheeks. Then I inhaled deeply and ruffled my hair, carefully not to snag on my braid. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. A knight was supposed to be courteous, generous, kind, just, honourable, and help those in need. And there I was, struggling to maintain a calm demeanour. There was something about Kerr's attitude that always got me worked up. Well, that and him showing me gratitude would be nice, or was it wrong for me to seek it in the first place? I still have a long way to go before I'm more like Mum. How does she do it? What's she playing? I grabbed a flat, polished rock and stood up, throwing and catching it a few times while I pondered what to do next. First things first, Kerr will return to bear with me. Well, need to stock up on supplies and figure out where to next Atala is. I tossed the rock up and caught it again. Does he expect me to travel with him the whole time? Or until Oliver? I wonder if I'm mentally prepared for this. Gripping the stone, I threw it in the water as an angle. It skipped a few times before disappearing completely. I bit my lip, not pleased with my 3-hop achievement. I could probably get 7 rebounds on a good day. I remember when I used to do that when I was a kid. Or I'll probably still do it now if I had a chance of doing it. You get a nice, flat rock and you skim it across it. You get some good achievements on that. I don't know if I ever got 7, but maybe close, eh? I should get back. I wonder if Kerr would already be impatient if I left. Just as I turned to leave, I heard a large splash and immediately whirled around, unleashing my sword. I angled the blade upward and widened my stance. Oh, shit! Haha, I just thought it was a Pokemon then. Pokemon! Gotta catch 'em all! Bursting from the water was a large serpent-like dragon with a translucent ridge down its back. It's flapping its wing-like fins, head extending beyond the shore. I gripped my teeth, searching for a weak point, but kept my distance. Tightening my glass in my side, I looked at the dragon directly in the eye. It recoiled when I saw my weapon, withdrew its head, but made no further movements. It didn't appear to be hostile. I slowly sheathed my sword, but I kept it firm, gripped as I hilt. A mist formed around the dragon and I stepped back, unsure whether to retreat or wait. I seemed to vanish, at least vanished at the mist, overtook it and squinted. Wait a second, guys, I just got a dumb message again. God, don't you hate when people just message you? Okay, done. Sorry. It seemed to vanish as the mist overtook, and I squinted. Oh no, it's transformed. Moments later, I spotted a rather hazy figure. Oh, what voice could it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I blinked, and a heaven-like person appeared before me. He had similar ears as the water dragon, so I could safely assume they were one of the same. He also had a brilliant teal-coloured hair, which I had never seen before. He fidgeted with his hands and gave me an apologetic look. I didn't mean to, frighten you. His wide eyes disarmed me completely, and I could only wave my hands frankly to reassure him.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's fine. I didn't mean to threaten you with my sword, it's just sort of insensitive and... It's understandable. You didn't know what my intentions were, and I probably looked intimidating. We both stopped and exchanged an awkward smile. At first it was a giggle, but I soon started laughing. Then the rumble of the back of my head, sheepishly. He joined in with his own gentle chuckle, and I was tension with the felt of my rather intense encounter dissolved instantly. So, what are you here for? I'm looking for someone. He should be around here. He would have unique ears like me. Like mine, and... You mean Kerr? And are you Kerr's master? His eyes widened. Me? Me? Oh, no. I'm actually a pupil for someone else, but I know his master well. He raised his arms and glared at his sleeves, tugging on them before inspecting the rest of his clothes. It was then I could see his long hair tumble over his shoulders, complete with a flowing purple ribbon. You look fine. You even transformed with a burly bride already in place. That's cute. He grinned cheerfully, seemingly pleased with himself. Ratalaika? There you are. I have a name. Kara approached us petulantly and gave the new boy a suspicious glare. The boy barked slightly and glanced shyly away. I heard a large splash and came to check it out. Hola, yol! I'm Lama. We've met a few times. Kara gazed at him intently with their mama squirmed uneasy. Nope, I don't know you. How you know if you find me anyway?
Well...
I overheard your master talking, and Master's brothers mentioned you, so I... Kara groaned loudly. Let me guess, they sent you. Sure, sent. They sent me to supervise your assignment. So please take me with you. Kara and I exchanged glances. Look, Ale. Lalami. I can't pronounce these guys' names. What Allah? This isn't exactly something I want to do. No, I do not want more company to slow me down, unless you can fly. Lamari's face fell. And can intensely take me to the next Attila. I'm not interested. Go back and tell your master I can handle this myself. But. I slid and stepped in, raised a hand and touched Kerr's shoulder. You don't need to. Oh, sorry. You don't need to. Kerr flinched from the physical contact and mentally kicked myself, forgetting already. Right. No, right. No touchy. Anyway, I think Lamari would prove useful. He did say the masters wanted this, right? The place they trust is for him for a reason. Lamari shifted his eyes, glanced at the ground.
I promise.
Right. I promise I won't be a burden. And if I am, well, I can go back. Kerr grumbled and meanly walked downstream, waving disapprovingly.
I don't care.
Do you want me? Do what you want. You promise you won't lecture me or do anything of the nonsense. I already get enough. Promise. Lamari's smile was so bright that I could help but grin as well. I turned to him and offered a hand, and he tilted his head quizzically. Looks like we're traveling companions, at least for a while. This is an offer to shake hands. It's a greatly between heavenkind. Lamari extended his hand and gave it a firm shake. I don't know what his name is, but we'll call him Lamari. This sounds good to me. Pleased to meet you. I'm Olori. Olorli. Pleased to meet you too. And thank you for the convincing cur. Thank you. Pardon? You have no idea how long I've been waiting to hear those words. I have a feeling you and I will get along swimmingly. Swimmingly? He glanced back over the river, then chuckled. Is this heavily kind humor? Something like that, but I usually elect more groans than laughter. Come on, we should probably get going before Kerr decides to ditch us both. I don't have any more food to lure him back. About food and heavily kind needs, I've researched a bit, but I'm not completely familiar. Don't worry, my dad makes food for a living, so I'll learn a lot about it. He nodded happily. With that, we quickly outpaced before Kerr could yell at us to hurry. I wondered how they reacted in a tenement heavy kind town. Okay, my controller batteries are coming flat, and I just got a text, guys. I've got to pick my daughter up from school for some reason. So last day of school today, and I think she was just only going there for half a day. So she's ready to be picked up now, that's right. So I'm going to have to love yous and leave yous all. Once again, guys, big shout out to Ratalaika Games, ratalaikagames.com for sending me Autumn's Journey visual novel to play today on the Xbox Series X, even though it's an Xbox One game. It's also available for Nintendo Switch and PS4. Get on it, guys, like Jericho did. Autumn's Journey, ratalaikagames.com. Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone for calling in to watch this stream today. I will be back. I'm not sure if we'll be back tomorrow or Friday. One of the two, guys. I'll be back streaming. Once again, big shout outs to Ratalaika Games, guys. Get on it if you're into visual novels. Autumn's Journey. Into dragons and stuff like that seems like a good fit for all you guys. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, the ones you love. Don't forget to feed your pets. Don't forget to charge your controller batteries like I've been forgetting, and I've got to charge mine now. Just before I pick up my daughter, I'm going to whack it on charge. Sorry again for the quick stream, guys, but I was only going to be a quick stream today. As I said, I've got to pick my daughter up half day of school today. It's the last day of school before she goes on the Christmas holidays for 6 weeks. 6 weeks of hell. Nah, it should be fun. I'm only kidding. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, guys.